Are you at a loss for what you can eat for lunch that will help you to meet your fitness goals? Is there never enough time in the morning to pack lunch and your performance is suffering as a result? Are you ready to simplify your lunch routine with some easy to meal prep, high protein lunches? That's what today's episode is all about. I have 3 delicious recipes that you can easily make your own and meal prep for the week. Never again run out the door without a balanced lunch in hand and have to settle for the vending machine. Grab a pen and paper and let's do this. Hey friend, are you ready to fuel your body, build muscle, and boost your performance without having to diet at the same time? Are you looking for a tribe of positive, motivating, and uplifting women that will help you when you're struggling? Join my Facebook group, Female Sports Nutrition. You'll get meal prep and planning hacks, sports nutrition guidance without selling your soul to diet culture, accountability, a supportive group to share your wins with, and much more. What are you waiting for? Join the Female Sports Nutrition Facebook group and get a free gift while you're there. I'll drop the link below in the show notes. All right, let me paint a picture for you. So it's early in the morning, you're running out the door, you don't have anything quick to grab for lunch, so you just wing it. At the office, your choice is a vending machine or running to the nearest fast food restaurant. You opt for the vending machine, but all you can grab is a pack of peanut butter crackers and a bag of chips. By 2 p.m., you're starving. You call off your after work training session because, let's face it, you're just too hungry and tired. And now you feel guilty because you missed your training session. How many times has this happened to you or something similar to what I just explained? It's interesting to me whenever I talk to clients, there's always a meal that is a problem for them. For some people, it's the breakfast club. For some people, it's lunch, and some people, it's dinner. So today I'm talking to all of those of you that struggle with lunch. Some of you just don't even know what in the world to pack for lunch. You don't know what to eat when you're home for lunch. You don't know what to make so that you could just easily grab something rather than having to cook an entire meal just for lunch. And you don't want a deli sandwich. So let's talk about 3 different recipes that you can easily meal prep for the week for lunches. And the best part is they're all one-pot dishes, which who doesn't love a one-pot dish? You really save on dishes and it just makes cleanup so easy, and it's quick and easy for you to prepare. So recipe number 1 is salmon quinoa bowls. I love this dish because it's so fresh. It's like a Mediterranean type dish and it's just light. It feels very fresh and I love the flavors that are accompanied with it. So what you're going to do is you're going to cook up a pot of quinoa. I would suggest starting with a cup or 2 of quinoa, depending on how many meals you want to get out of the salmon quinoa bowls. But at the same time, you're going to bake some salmon. So preheat your oven to about 350 degrees. You're going to put in your salmon pieces. I put them on a baking sheet with parchment paper or foil down so that it's easy cleanup. I just sprinkle them with salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, and some basil or oregano or Italian seasoning and put it in the oven for about 10 minutes. Again, my quinoa is going to be cooking at the same time. So I am doing 2 things at the same time or cooking 2 things at the same time. Then I'm going to get 2 cans of chickpeas, dump that in a bowl, dice up a cucumber, or I'm going to throw it in my food processor, which is a hack to save some time. Or if you don't have a food processor, get one of those vegetable choppers off of Amazon, which I'll link below in the show notes. Same thing with a tomato. You're going to chop up a tomato or 2, throw that in your bowl, put in some feta cheese. If you don't like feta cheese, you could do shredded mozzarella cheese, some basil, some salt, some pepper, red onions. You're going to dice up some red onions and put that in your bowl. And then you're just going to put in a little bit of oil and red wine vinegar, enough to make the quinoa wet. So probably maybe a tablespoon or 2 of each. Then once your quinoa is done cooking, you're going to run it under some cold water to cool it down. Put that in your bowl. And once your salmon is done cooking, you're going to break that up into little pieces and put it into your quinoa. If you don't want the salmon broken up, you can certainly leave the pieces whole and then just put the quinoa in a to-go container with the piece of salmon on top. I prefer this dish actually cold, but you could certainly eat it warm. So what you're looking for is about 3 ounces of salmon with about a cup and a half of the quinoa vegetable mixture. And all you're going to do is get a bunch of little containers. I suggest using glass containers and put the amounts that you want in each container for however many meals that you're going to get out of the amount that you made and stick it in the refrigerator. It's done. Recipe number 2 are burrito bowls. These are one of my favorites and they're so easy. So burrito bowls, you can either use ground beef or shredded chicken, or if you have something else like some shredded beef, or if you want to use beans, that is fine too. So while your rice is cooking, you're going to cook your meat. So again, you're doing two things at one time, which helps to save your time. So I suggest doing a combination of white rice and brown rice, but you can pick whichever rice that you want. But again, just make enough so that you can get several meals out of it. Just know that rice really does triple in size. So make sure that you are not cooking, 5 cups of dry rice thinking you're going to get 5 cups of cooked rice. You're going to get a lot more than that. I would start with probably a cup or two again. So again, you're going to cook either your ground beef or your shredded chicken at the same time. If you do shredded chicken, I will link a recipe below for this, but it's super easy. You could either cook this in the oven in a Dutch oven, or you could cook it in an Instant Pot. Either way, I'll link the recipe below for you in the show notes. But if you choose to do ground beef, again, you're just going to throw that in a pan, break it up, add some seasoning. I do garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, cumin, salt, and pepper. Drain the grease off of it and then set it aside. So once you're done with cooking your meat and your rice, you're going to assemble your burrito bowls. So again, get your glass containers. Just put enough rice and meat in there for each container. So I would recommend starting with about 3/4 of a cup to a cup of rice and about 3 ounces of meat. And then you're going to add a little bit of beans. If you want to use canned beans, put those in there as well. If you don't, that's fine as well. And then you're going to just add your toppings. So things like cheese, tomatoes, mushrooms, bell peppers. I would only put in the burrito bowl things that you don't mind warming up again. So if you don't want cooked lettuce, I would not suggest putting that in your burrito bowl ahead of time. If you do want lettuce on your burrito bowl, that's perfectly fine. Maybe just bag up some lettuce into like a little sandwich baggie and put it with each container. And then, add anything like hot sauce or salsa. And that's it. Your burrito bowls are done. Recipe number 3 is Italian pasta salad with chicken. I actually made this yesterday for a meal that we did with some friends, and it was such a hit. I had this for lunch today and it was delicious. So what I started with was the chickpea pasta, and at the same time, again, that I'm cooking my chickpea pasta, I'm going to cook my chicken. So the chicken that I did, I marinated it a little bit in some balsamic vinegar, some soy sauce, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and Italian seasoning. I let it marinate for about 30 minutes to an hour. If you don't want to marinate it, that's fine. You can skip that step. And I actually cooked it on a Blackstone, but you could grill it, you could cook it in the oven, you could cook it in a pan, whatever you have available is totally fine. So just make sure that you are cooking your chicken at the same time as your pasta. Then while you're waiting for everything to finish cooking, you're going to dice up some salami and pepperoni. I used turkey pepperoni because that's just what I had available, and try to get the uncured versions of salami and pepperoni if you can find them. Next up, you're going to add some shredded mozzarella to your bowl, sliced pepperoncinis, and diced bell peppers. I also added in some artichoke hearts that I diced up. If you don't like artichoke hearts, you can obviously skip them. And you could also add other things like some chopped up spinach, or you could put in some tomatoes. You could make this your own. Whatever you have on hand is totally fine. And the amounts don't really matter. It's kind of like whatever you like more of, you can add more of those things. So when you're done cooking the pasta, you want to make sure that you stop the cooking process by running it under cold water so you don't overcook your pasta. Mix it into the big bowl with all your other ingredients. Same thing with your chicken. When that's done cooking, you're just going to dice it up, throw it in your bowl, mix it all together, and then you're going to pour some Italian dressing over it. Now, you can either use a pre-made Italian dressing or you can make your own. I made my own. Honestly, you could just do oil and vinegar again and throw in some spices like Italian seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, and call it done. And I threw some Parmesan cheese in there. So that's up to you what you want to do with the dressing. But basically, you're going to, again, just put enough of the liquid, the dressing or the oil and vinegar, so that you are coating the pasta and the rest of the ingredients. You don't want it to be soupy by any stretch of the imagination. So you're going to toss it all together, and then you're just going to evenly divide it into your containers for the week. And now you have about 15 different lunches that you can choose from for the week if you were to make all 3 of these meals and make 5 meals for each recipe. Isn't that wonderful? And now, if you have a spouse or a significant other, you can share those meals with them. And that makes everybody very happy. Now, if you have lunches that you love to meal prep for the week, I would love to know what they are. So head on over to my Facebook group, Female Sports Nutrition, which I will link below for you in the show notes. And please share with us what your favorite lunches are that you meal prep. And if you tried these recipes, please let us know in the group what you've tried and how you liked it.